Hello anyone. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri Pro Tips, episode 56, coming your way, and that's how it's gonna stay. Alright, that rhymed, and it's bad. Alright, cool. So, now that I have your attention, let's get into this. So, Pro Tip 56 is about Collapsing Blade. So, Collapsing Blade 7, to be precise. So, I have Collapsing Blade 7 on my Dayton route. What are my other skills on it? Intimidate 7, literally a shit skill. Literally, Intimidate is a shit skill unless you know what you're doing, and it's a very niche enemy, like giant statues, or sometimes frogs, things without projectiles. You know, you gotta know what you want to use it on. It's a very double-edged sword skill, but it's not the best, it's not the first skill you want on your Night Sky, you know, but I have it on there. I have Water Dragon 7. I wanted Water Dragon 7. I also had Thundercrack 7 on it. Originally, my moveset for this was going to be Water Dragon, Thundercrack, and Collapsing Blade, but with skill changing, which is literally the only way to get Collapsing Blade 7, you can't really pick and choose your skills. So what we're going to talk about here is, this is like a safety, you know, like a don't get greedy video. So I've seen this happen to a couple people who get greedy, or they want the best weapon, but, you know, life kicks them in the dick, and it doesn't come out that way. It comes out horribly, painfully. Anyway, so the way to get Collapsing Blade, like I said, is you put on 3 rank 7 skills. So I put on Intimidate 7 because it's a bad skill. It's usually what I put on a weapon if I want to skill change it away, because it's just a rank 7, I don't use it. You know, I'd rather use that than Ice Blossom, if you know what I mean. Because I'd rather, you know, not waste my Ice Blossoms. So, you know, it all comes down to how much, you know, affluence you have, money and inventory, stock, all that stuff. So when you're skill changing, like I did, I got Collapsing Blade first skill change. Like I made the video, and I had those 3 skills on, we skill changed. We got Collapsing Blade 7. And then right after, people were like, oh, go get the skill card for Collapsing Blade 6 and throw it on. And I'm just like, well, why would I do that? You know, there's a 2 out of 3 chance that Collapsing Blade 6 would have taken away Intimidate 7. Absolutely. Then I would have Collapsing Blade 6, Collapsing Blade 7, Water Dragon 6. It would be a very, very beautiful weapon. But that's not always how it happens. More often than not, in Onigiri, whatever the lower chance is, that's what you're getting, son. Like, I was just talking with Ad Name here a while ago on their Night Sky, and they had gotten Collapsing Blade 7 on a skill change. And they got greedy, and they threw on Collapsing Blade 5. And Collapsing Blade 5 ate 7, and you're done. You're done. Now, I'm going to tell you that Collapsing Blade 7 compared to 5 is heaven and earth. Collapsing Blade 5 is literally ass. Like, it's bad. Collapsing Blade 6 and 7 are the only good versions of the move. But Collapsing Blade 5, it only hits once, and its durability consumption is higher. Like, it doesn't add up to the value per damage you get off Collapsing Blade 7. So Collapsing Blade 5... I'm actually going to look up the durability, because I don't want to just like spitball it and make a comparison. I'm actually going to just, you know, do it right the first time. So you go to the wiki. I'm going to look up spur. Yes, spear. Okay. Oh my god, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. All right. So we're going to spear. And I'm going to scroll down until I find Collapsing Blade. It's actually near the top. So Collapsing... A card captor, oh my god. Collapsing Blade 7... Or, no, okay, so Collapsing Blade exists from 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, 9, 10, but those don't exist. And let's look at the durability consumption versus, you know, just damage and stuff. So Collapsing Blade 5 does have 2,000 skill force on Spear. That's a lot. It's a single hit move. It takes 184 Dura. If we look at Collapsing Blade 7, however, why is he knocking on the window and making noise? But, give me 1 sec here. Let my dad in, because our lock is weird and busted right now. So don't rob me. Like you said, 95% smelt. So, you know, the lesser outcome is usually the most probable one. It sucks. So Collapsing Blade 5 has 2,098 skill force. Pretty good. 184 durability. Kind of bad. And then Collapsing Blade 6, which hits twice. Collapsing Blade 5 only hits once. Collapsing Blade 6 will hit for 1,700 skill force, but it hits twice. And it takes 215 durability. And that 215 durability is not per swing. That is divided by swings. So the first swing would do 100 and... What's that number here? 107? What is 15 divided by 2? Is it 7? Is it 6? It's 7. So, yeah, it'd be 2... My dad looked at me, he's like, how come we don't know those numbers? Anyway, so 2, 15... So you're gonna do about 107 durability a swing on Collapsing Blade 6. And that's gonna out DPS Collapsing Blade 5, because Collapsing Blade 5 is gonna hit once, do that kind of damage, and then it takes 184. So if you do 2 Collapsing Blade 5s, it is 368 Dura compared to the Collapsing Blade 6 that will out DPS it and save on Dura. And the Collapsing Blade 7 is 261, which is still 100 Dura less than using 2 Collapsing Blade 5s. Collapsing Blade 5 is bad. Like, if you're going to double up on Collapsing Blade 7 and blank, you don't want 7, 6, 5. It's literally not the moveset you want. You want 7, 6, and then third skill. Doesn't matter what it is. If you planned on doing that. Because Collapsing Blade 7 has the same skill force as Collapsing Blade 5, but it hits twice, so it's literally double the damage. It's awesome. It's even more skill force, to be honest, tell you the truth. And Collapsing Blade 7 is going to be 130 durability a swing, so it's still less Dura than like 2 Collapsing Blade 5s. So Collapsing Blade 7 is what you want, and this is tried and true for sword, axe, odachi, twin sword, and spear. Now I say twin sword, but I'm not 100% sure, because twin sword's Collapsing Blade hits like 17 times or 5 times. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm actually going to look that up. Let's go through it together. So I'm going to look up twin sword. Twin sword. Okay. So look at that twin. We're going to scroll down here, and we're going to find Collapsing Blade. Collapsing Blade. Okay. So on twin, Collapsing Blade 5 is 900 Dura, and it hits 4 times. So Collapsing Blade's less Dura on twin, actually, if you think about it. So Collapsing Blade will hit 4 times. It does 184. So it's going to be about whatever that number is divided by 4. Can't math right now. I really can't. It sucks. It's going to be about 40 a swing, literally. Something like that. So 40, 40, 40. You know, it's about 160, so 145, 148, something like that, you know. Not too much. And then Collapsing Blade 6 is going to be... Collapsing Blade 6 is 5 hits, is the same number of hits, but at 215 Dura, so more Dura consumption, but about 300 more skill force. And then if you look at Collapsing Blade 7 on twin, and I've had this. I actually have that move. I'm going to pull it out right now. I have that move. I have it on a twin sword that I made. Dark Heaven Embu. I think. No, I don't. I had it and then I skill changed it away. I did. That's completely true. I don't have it anymore. But when I did have it, it was like 54 durability a hit, and it hit 5 times, and that is 261. It was something like that. Somewhere around that range. But it is the same thing for twin sword. It's the same thing for all of them. You always want the 7 more than the 5, and the 6 is literally, you know, it's your silver lining. It's your next best thing. It's your off-brand product, you know, if you want to say. So Collapsing Blade 7 is literally what you want. And in my honest opinion, if you're skill changing a weapon like a Completion, a Nadir, a Warped, a Night Sky, a Ahriman weapon, and you get the Collapsing Blade, if you get the Collapsing Blade 7, literally do not mess with it. Don't get greedy. Because some people, they get greedy, they throw on that 6, it eats the 7, and then it's just like, I gimped myself. You know, you took the risk and you failed. I didn't take the risk. I'm happy. I've beaten Lucifer 100 times. You know, Collapsing Blade does great work on him. It's hitting him for almost damage cap with both swings. Like, not each hit doing damage cap, but like 4 or 5 mil and then 4 or 5 mil. Sure, it's not the strongest on Spear, but it's still a great option. So in my honest opinion, my pro tip here is once you get Collapsing Blade 7 on that dark weapon that you want, do not fuck with it, okay? Don't make that risk, because you're gonna beat yourself up after it. And especially if you put on 5, don't do 5. 5 is a bad skill. Collapsing Blade 5 is not the second best, it's not the third best, it's literally table scraps, and all the table scraps are just bones. It is more harm than it is good. So, you know, Collapsing Blade 7, you skill change for it, you get it, you're done. That's your weapon. You get your Collapsing Blade, you got your Ogi, and you got your other Ogi. That's enough skills on your weapon. Tell you the truth, you don't need 5 skills on a weapon. It helps, but with cooldown as it is in Chidori, chances are you don't use every skill all the time. Unless you're Axe and you're just like freezing Ice Blade all the time in your rhyme, like, you know, you could do that. But that's a different argument, different story. So that's my pro tip. Once you get the Collapsing 7 on there, don't mess with it. Just leave it there. I left it there. I didn't mess with it. You know, Intimidate's still there. I have so much fun with Intimidate. I intimidated Gargoyle today. I've intimidated Lucifer and he's killed my entire team. It's great. I love it. But you know, that's my pro tip. That is pro tip 56. Once you get Collapsing Blade 7, just leave it be. Don't fuck with it, okay? Just don't. Because if you're lucky enough to get it off a skill change, you don't want to jinx your luck. You don't want to take it for granted. You don't want to think it's the easiest thing. Don't do it. So that's pro tip 56. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have differentiating opinions, post it in the comments. If you have similar stories, tell me about it, man. You know, make a discussion. So that's me, pro tip 56. Like I said 5 times now, and I'm going to get on out of here. Thanks for watching.